Welcome to Fasting Space. So nice to have you here. I try to bring you some inspiration every session, but today it's very direct. Listen to these words. You go looking for inspiration. Your relationships have been supplying you with inspiration all along. If you set out to gather all of your emotions from all of your relationships, you will be gathering forever. You are not deficient in source material. You are in relationship with all living things, even if you do not realize this. Your relationships with things that are not human provide you a certain mirror. Your relationship with humans offers another kind of mirror. In either case, open your soul eyes and look. Look into what looks back at you. Your kin can be a hindrance or harm or help or heaven. You are a piece of glass. Your relations are the sun. If you want to burn something into being, turn yourself until your kin's light hits your glass just right. How does that sit with you today? Pat is here. Happy Monday. Hello. I hope you are well. And Queen of Heaven is here. Very good to see you. How are you today? I hope you are well. This passage that I read from Dear Artist, remember, these are words that are meant to be encouraging writers and musicians, and we are intercepting them and using them for our purpose. The artwork that we are creating, our health expression. And this felt really good to me to read. I found it to be inspiring. Not in the way that like pom-poms are inspiring, but on a much deeper level. Something that is real and good and beautiful. And I had a few thoughts about it. I didn't write them all down, unfortunately. We'll see if we can pick them back up again. The main one was just that, I'll go through it in detail, but this one where we get into kin, and he goes through this range of emotions. Our relationships, with family, friends, people who are close to us, it can be good and it can be difficult. I think the big thought I was having last night as I was sitting there is even the difficulty usually just has love at the base of it. We can experience anger when we love someone and then they don't act the way we think they should, or they do something or say something we wish they wouldn't, and it's like anger, but it's like we're trying. Is it? You see if it's true in your situation. Maybe it isn't. If we didn't care, we wouldn't probably be so angry. Probably someone can think of a situation, someone just is directly awful and hurting you. Yeah, this is the case. This is the case. And so this is directly related into our space, right? How many times is this a thread that gets twisted into our whole emotional experience with food? Because so often, like all the stressful things get dialed in at the same time. Family stress weaved into the holidays, and it's supposed to be beautiful and happy, but then it's stressful, and then it's like exposes if we use food as a coping mechanism now, there's tons of food and tons of stress, and the food is extra good. And so it's like, and then this can weave into a whole spiral. I was reading another book this weekend, and I share a tiny passage from that when we think about this one line in here. Let's find it. You go looking for inspiration. Your relationship's been supplying you with inspiration all along. Maybe we don't realize it, or maybe we just don't think of it that way. Can you find examples in your life where you think that's true? Do you think it's true? If we really think about it, I was trying to think of, my relationships yesterday and just think if it's true. And then all of a sudden I started realizing I thought it was true. In two ways, where I was like, okay, this we're trying to bring it into a health space. I was like, well, I think of relationships that I have, especially with my kids, and it's like, it is inspiring. There is an inspiring relationship to try to take the best care of yourself that you possibly can. That's what I was thinking. And then on the other side of it, like, isn't inspiring. As I think of these relationships, like, am I not inspired to try to do the best that I can to care for other people? Like, I am. And so I am finding that inspiration in those ways. Caring for self, caring for others, really caring for self as a way to care for others, So I want to be strong for people, Crazy Horse is here. Good morning to you. So nice to have you here. Hope you are doing well. I try to remember they have to live their story just as I have to live mine. Yeah. Yeah, it really is the case. I think we did a session back in last fall on acceptance. And this is a thing that can be where we really have to practice acceptance as a way to love someone. If you set out to gather all your emotions from all your relationships, you'll be gathering forever. You are not deficient in source material, meaning they're talking for an artist, but I'm saying, for source material, for our process, inspiration for our health journey. We're not lacking if we are to believe this. You are in relationship with all living things, even if you do not realize this. Do you realize it? Do you believe it? It's an easy thing, at least. I say I do believe it. I believe that is the case. But it's the type of thing that I would say I'm not really aware of most of the time. Most of the time we're just kind of going through our day, living our life, and we don't realize it. It's not something that is permeating every waking thought anyway. Your relationships with things that are not human provides you a certain mirror. And that's where I wanted to share this other little section I was reading this weekend, just for some perspective on it. Because then I was reading that, I was like, oh, this sounds like the inspiration passage. Gazing out the train window at a random sample of the Western world, I could not avoid noticing a kind of separation between human beings and all other species. We've cut ourselves off by living in cement blocks, moving around in glass and metal bubbles, and spending a good part of our time watching other human beings on television. Outside, the pale light of an April sun was shining down on a suburb. I opened a newspaper. All I could find were pictures of human beings and articles about their activities. There was not a single article about another species. Just a random thought that connected to me. There's hardly ever, probably every once in a while, there'll be an article in a newspaper about another species, a cat in a tree, at least in a local paper, and some feel-good story. But, news, if we think news, it really is, it's people, and we've taken the earth, really, and we've made it all about us. And is that a kind of true myopia? I've really been thinking lately, like, what if we had news that, like, included, like, life on this planet? This book that I'm reading is about DNA, and actually how it's the same DNA in every single living thing, and how incredible that is. It's just totally incredible. Same DNA. You think it's not like there's different DNA for different things. It's just the same program is running in everything, and change the code a bit, and we got some other instance of life. And it is just so beautiful when you start to look at it. Everything from a bacteria through a human being. It's like we're so connected just on the fundamental level. And so you take an idea like that and you bring it into this. Your relationships with things that are not human provide you a certain mirror. I was just thinking about that, like, think of the newspaper, right? If this is true, I think it is true. It is a certain kind of mirror, Gandhi said this about animals, so you can tell a lot about a country by the way it treats its animals. I think that's the quote. I say this is a mirror that we've put in the drawer a lot, and we're trying not to look at it a lot of times. It's like you think about, man, our relationship to the natural world, our relationship to non-human things, like looking for some inspiration. Here would be inspiration, they're saying, for artwork. I'm sure you could create a lot of interesting things about the suffering of nature. But isn't this the same thing that this would lead us in a space toward? Is like, how do we live more in alignment with this? Isn't this what being healthy is? And how do we explore true health and wholeness on this planet and this place if it doesn't mean having positive, healthy relationships with both other people and other things? And to me, I think that's just a truly grounding and beautiful concept. Your relationship with other people offers another kind of mirror. In either case, open your soul eyes and look. What does that mean to you? How do you do that? How do you open your soul eyes and look at other things on just a deep and profound level? The kind of space that can allow you to find inspiration from it. Look into what looks back at you. I was just, I read this, I was reading this again yesterday, thinking about this session, and I was just sitting with my dog, and my dog is staring at me, so I was just staring at my dog and looking in my dog's eyes. And I don't know that I have much to say about it other than it was just, I love my dog. And I just loved this connection. And I was thinking about this writing, and I was like, well, here at least in one small way, like here is a connection that is between species in its domesticated fashion, and we are finding love and joy here. So it's beautiful. I thought it was beautiful. Your kin can be a hindrance or harm or help or heaven. And we don't really get to choose, do we? Although perhaps our acceptance of certain things, like you were saying, can help to mitigate the former. If we just let things be a little bit. Here is this mechanism. You are a piece of glass. Your relations are the sun. You want to burn something into being. Turn yourself until your kin's light hits your glass just right. Isn't that a beautiful phrase? I at least think, in our health space, trying to be as healthy as we can in our families, here. And we got a lot of dynamics in families and places, whether you are living with people still or people are off or however your situation is. Wherever that kin light is coming from, can you use it and focus it? Like a glass, like a mirror. Have you ever taken a mirror and then trying to hit the sun and shoot it around like a little flashlight beam? That's kind of what I'm seeing here. I was thinking we would do some of that, or have you used a magnifying glass and burned an ant when you were a kid or something? My kids were doing that this summer. I'm like, don't do that. Gonna start a fire anyway. But take that sun, the kin light, bounce it right in the direction. How do you angle it? How do you focus it? Just in the way. And maybe you're not seeing it right now. Hey, that's okay. Say, you have no idea what my kin light is. It's a UV black light, that pulses. I don't know. It's weird. We got some interesting situations that can develop in that zone. So, but to me, these are very good things to think about for our space moving forward in health and wholeness. Try to do it together. Bring the whole family along. Try to bring our community with us if we can, trying to take the relationships and the connections. We're not doing these things alone, hopefully. Try not to do it. Try to look, like this says, how we don't know that we are actually connected to all things. And so that's why we can come together, we can share some of these ideas. Give some support. But then take these ideas right into our own, real life, right? And find the relationships and think of that light. Have you thought of it that way? Do you even think of it? Oh, that there's a kin light. There's a light coming here. And how do we, isn't that a beautiful way to think of it, actually? A kin light. Maybe we can use that as a way to smooth over some difficulties. See the good. Look toward the light. You have to excuse a little scratchy voice. I got walloped with some kind of cold or something this weekend. Man, I didn't know if I was going to be able to talk for this. I didn't. And I was like, well, we'll see. So it's worked out. It's worked out. Somewhere between all of the feeling miserable this weekend, I read these couple things and put this together, and it just really did feel good. Let me know, do you have questions or thoughts? These are my thoughts about those writings. Do you have thoughts? How are you doing? Would you like the show to go on? I am happy to carry on. You let me know in the comments. Do you have just a good word to share? Also, it doesn't have to be a question. Happy to hear. I send a good word to Marie if you are coming through on a replay at some point. I think you said sometime this week, and I have gallbladder surgery, so I hope that is going smoothly for you. Bring an end to that miserable experience. I had a moderately productive weekend despite feeling badly. I did read about 5 different papers on the phenomenon of fasting-induced overeating. And there is a literature on this that I think is an important topic to think about. And I think that's, at least when I looked on Friday, that's what had just by a narrow margin, the most votes on the poll. So I think I hit that next. We'll see if I can crank it out for tomorrow or not. We shall see. But it is some really good things to think about. Very grounding topic for our space, I think. And then we'll get to all the rest of it and many more. Really beautiful to share this space with you today. I hope you have a beautiful day. Do some good thinking on this passage. And the kin light and our relationships, both with other people and with all things, and can we take these perspectives, really sink into it, find some inspiration to move forward in health and wholeness in a way that is truly grounded and healthy. Let me know how that goes for you, and I will look forward to chatting with you again tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.